You don't need more time. You need to stop wasting the time you already have. Let me ask you something. What if I told you the life you're dreaming about, the success you're chasing, the confidence you're craving is already inside your 24 hours? That's it. Not 25, not 30. Just 24. The same 24 hours given to the ones you admire. The same 24 hours owned by the unstoppable, the unbreakable, the unshakable. But here's the harsh truthing. If you don't learn how to command your time, someone else will. This isn't just about waking up earlier. This is about waking up to your life. And from this moment on, you don't manage time. You master it. You own it. You weaponize it. Let's go. You say you don't have time. No. What you mean is, it's not a priority. That one shift in language will expose everything. It cuts through the lies we tell ourselves to feel safe. Because when you say, I don't have time to work out, and replace it with, it's not a priority to take care of my body, the truth hits differently, doesn't it? Say, I don't have time to start that business. And what you're really saying is, building my financial future isn't important to me right now. You feel that sting. That's your accountability waking up. That's your potential getting pissed off. And it should. Because every time you use time as an excuse, you're not just lying to others, you're lying to yourself. And self-deception is the most dangerous form of failure. It kills dreams while you sleepwalk through your life. This isn't about guilt. This is about ownership. There are people with 5 kids, 2 jobs, no safety net, and still making their goals happen. Because they stopped worshipping the illusion of more time and started using what they had with absolute purpose. You don't need 10 hours a day. You need focused intention in the small windows you already waste. That 1 hour you spent arguing in your head, scrolling Instagram, watching one more episode, explaining your dreams to people who don't support them. That's time you chose to give away. And if you keep giving your hours to nonsense, don't act surprised when you get nonsense in return. Life doesn't reward wishes. It rewards action. And action doesn't wait for the perfect time. It makes time. You say you're too busy. But let's talk facts. You're not too busy. You're too distracted. You're caught in a loop of reaction instead of creation. Every notification steals a slice of your focus. Every quick check on your phone is a death by 1,000 cuts to your productivity. The modern world is built to steal your attention. And if you don't fight back with ferocity, you'll lose your entire life to things that don't matter. People don't lose time in big chunks. They bleed it in tiny, invisible moments. And those moments, they add up to a lifetime of regret. So if you want to manage your 24 hours, start by managing your attention. Because where your focus goes, your future flows. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most with brutal clarity. There is power in priorities. But most people don't live with priorities. They live with pressure. Pressure from others' expectations. Pressure from fake urgency. Pressure from the idea that being busy means being important. But business is not a badge of honor. It's a warning sign. If you don't choose your top 3 priorities, the world will hand you 50 distractions and call them urgent. And here's the raw truth. If your priorities don't scare you a little, stretch you a lot, and wake you up in the morning with fire in your gut, they're not priorities. They're comforts. And comfort never changed the world. Ask yourself this. What's the one thing you keep saying you'll do when you have more time? Now, imagine if you had started it 6 months ago. where would you be right now? That sting in your chest. That's regret? And it's the most expensive emotion you'll ever carry. Regret doesn't show up all at once. It sneaks in slowly, when you realize your potential is still on pause because you were waiting for the right moment. Newsflash, there is no right moment. There's only now. People who succeed aren't lucky with time. They're savage with priorities. They say no to what drains them. They say yes to what builds them. And they stop giving free rent to doubt and distractions. You want change, real, lasting change. Then stop treating your time like it's disposable. Every minute is an investment, and your return depends on how you spend it. You're either building your legacy or building someone else's. Every time you put your dreams on hold for fear of being too busy, remember this time is not the problem. Your choices are. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I don't have time," stop. Replace it with the truth. It's not a priority right now. Let that sentence sink in. Say it out loud. And if it makes your stomach twist, if it makes your soul scream, then it's time to act like your time matters. Because it does. And the moment you start treating your time like gold, the world starts treating you like you're made of it. You say you don't have time. No, what you mean is, it's not a priority. That one shift in language will expose everything. It cuts through the lies we tell ourselves to feel safe. Because when you say, "I don't have time to work out," and replace it with, "It's not a priority to take care of my body," the truth hits differently, doesn't it? Say, "I don't have time to start that business." And what you're really saying is, "Building my financial future isn't important to me right now." You feel that sting? That's your accountability waking up. That's your potential getting pissed off. And it should. Because every time you use time as an excuse, you're not just lying to others, you're lying to yourself. And self-deception is the most dangerous form of failure. It kills dreams while you sleepwalk through your life. This isn't about guilt. This is about ownership. There are people with 5 kids, 2 jobs, no safety net, and still making their goals happen because they stopped worshipping the illusion of more time and started using what they had with absolute purpose. You don't need 10 hours a day. You need focused intention in the small windows you already waste. That 1 hour you spent arguing in your head, scrolling Instagram, watching one more episode, explaining your dreams to people who don't support them. That's time you chose to give away. And if you keep giving your hours to nonsense, don't act surprised when you get nonsense in return. Life doesn't reward wishes. It rewards action. And action doesn't wait for the perfect time. It makes time. You say you're too busy. But let's talk facts. You're not too busy. You're not too distracted. You're caught in a loop of reaction instead of creation. Every notification steals a slice of your focus. Every quick check on your phone is a death by 1,000 cuts to your productivity. The modern world is built to steal your attention. And if you don't fight back with ferocity, you'll lose your entire life to things that don't matter. People don't lose time in big chunks. They bleed it in tiny, invisible moments. And those moments, they add up to a lifetime of regret. So if you want to manage your 24 hours, start by managing your attention. Because where your focus goes, your future flows. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most with brutal clarity. There is power in priorities. But most people don't live with priorities. They live with pressure. Pressure from others' expectations. Pressure from fake urgency. Pressure from the idea that being busy means being important. But business is not a badge of honor. It's a warning sign. If you don't choose your top 3 priorities, the world will hand you 50 distractions and call them urgent. And here's the raw truth. If your priorities don't scare you a little, stretch you a lot, and wake you up in the morning with fire in your gut, they're not priorities. They're comforts. And comfort never changed the world. Ask yourself this. What's the one thing you keep saying you'll do when you have more time? Now imagine if you had started it 6 months ago. Where would you be right now? That sting in your chest. That's regret. And it's the most expensive emotion you'll ever carry. Regret doesn't show up all at once. It sneaks in slowly. When you realize your potential is still on pause because you were waiting for the right moment. Newsflash, there is no right moment. There's only now. People who succeed aren't lucky with time. They're savage with priorities. They say no to what drains them. They say yes to what builds them. And they stop giving free rent to guilt, doubt, and distractions. You want change. Real, lasting change. Then stop treating your time like it's disposable. Every minute is an investment. And your return depends on how you spend it. You're either building your legacy or building someone else's. Every time you put your dreams on hold for fear of being too busy, remember this: time is not the problem. Your choices are. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I don't have time," stop. Replace it with the truth. It's not a priority right now. Let that sentence sink in. Say it out loud. And if it makes your stomach twist, if it makes your soul scream, then it's time to act like your time matters. Because it does. And the moment you start treating your time like gold, the world starts treating you like you're made of it. Your morning is not just a time of day. It's a declaration of who you are. It's the most sacred battleground you'll ever walk through. And yet, most people stumble through their first hour like it doesn't matter, like they have all the time in the world. They wake up reacting to alarms, to messages, to noise, to demands that don't even belong to them. They reach for their phones before they reach for their purpose. And in that single, mindless decision, they lose the war before the day has even begun. Because the morning isn't just a time to get ready. It's the time you choose your identity. Every morning, you're either building the person you want to be or falling back into the person you swore you'd outgrow. Think about it. What would happen if you stopped waking up to chaos and started waking up with clarity? If instead of hitting snooze, you hit your mission. There's a fire that builds inside the person who refuses to waste their first hour. Waking up with purpose changes your biology, your psychology, your energy. The world isn't even awake yet, and you're already winning. You've moved. You've breathed. You've connected with silence, with intention with you. While everyone else is buried under the weight of distraction, you're rising with direction. That isn't a small shift. That's a radical rebellion against mediocrity. Most people don't realize they don't need more hours. They need better mornings. Because if you own your morning, you don't just win the day. You win your life. The first hour of your day must be sacred. Guarded like treasure, executed like a ritual. That means no phone, no emails, no social media. You don't start your day plugged into the noise of the world. You start it plugged into you. Stretch. Move your body. Wake up your blood. Hydrate like your life depends on it. Because it does. Meditate. Even if it's just 5 minutes of stillness. Journal your intentions, like you're writing your future into existence. Visualize your goals until they're burned into your brain. These aren't just habits. They are declarations. You are declaring to the universe, "See, I take my life seriously." When you command the first 60 minutes of your day, you don't need to beg for motivation. It becomes who you are. And yes, it will be hard. At first, it will be uncomfortable to leave behind the warm bed, to rise before the world does, to face the mirror of discipline when it's easier to hide in delay. But growth doesn't live in comfort. Transformation doesn't come from ease. It comes from doing what most people won't. You think successful people have some magical gift. No, they have a non-negotiable system. They've trained their body, their mind, and their spirit to serve their future, not their feelings. So while the average person is negotiating with excuses, they're executing on commitment. And if you want what the top 1% have, you have to do what the other 99% won't. That starts with how you wake up. Every single day. What you do in the first hour of your day sets the tone for every thought, every decision, every action that follows. It programs your brain to either react or to lead. If you start with distraction, your mind stays scattered. If you start with intention, your mind stays focused. Your mornings are not just preparation. They're programming. You're either setting yourself up for alignment or chaos. So you have to ask yourself, what kind of life are you scripting when you let your day start in disarray? What kind of leader shows up to their mission already overwhelmed, already overstimulated, already playing defense? Leaders don't do that. Game changers don't do that. You shouldn't either. You are the author of your day. And the first chapter, it better be powerful. Now here's the truth most people won't tell you. When you take command of your mornings, you won't just see external changes. The real shift happens within. You'll start walking taller, speaking clear, thinking sharper, making decisions faster. You'll attract people, opportunities, and results that match your elevated energy. Because now you're not operating from survival. You're operating from strategy, from creation, from conviction. That's the power of a morning ritual done right. You're not reacting to life. You're designing it. And in a world that's addicted to distraction, your ability to own the start of your day makes you uncommon. It makes you unshakable. It makes you unforgettable. Time is not what you're really managing. You're managing energy. If your energy is chaotic, low, distracted, or consumed by the wrong people, your entire day becomes unproductive, even if you technically have the hours. You can have 10 hours of free time and get nothing meaningful done if your energy is drained. On the flip side, you can have just 3 focused hours, fully present, fully alive, fully intentional, and move mountains. But most people never pause to audit their energy. They just keep running, chasing more time, when the real enemy is the invisible leak in their focus. You are not a robot. You are a living, breathing source of power. And when you don't protect that power, everything else collapses. It's not that you lack time. It's that you're bleeding energy into things that don't serve your vision. Think about the last 7 days. How much of your energy was invested in problems that weren't even yours? How much time did you waste arguing with people in your head? How often did you walk away from conversations feeling emotionally empty, mentally foggy, spiritually exhausted? That's not a coincidence. That's an energy crisis. And it's not just costing you hours. It's costing you momentum, creativity, confidence, and clarity. You're pouring energy into relationships that drain you, environments that distract you, thoughts that defeat you. And you wonder why you're tired before you even begin. It's not the work that's burning you out. It's the weight you carry in silence. And if you don't cut the emotional cords that pull you backwards, your future will stay locked in a loop of frustration and fatigue. You've got to protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. That means boundaries. Real ones. That means saying no without guilt. That means stepping away from people who interrupt your peace, even if they call it love. That means canceling access to your mental space for anyone who shows up only when they need something. Energy management is not selfish. It's strategic survival. You are building something powerful. You are chasing a vision that demands your strength, your sharpness, your fire. You cannot keep giving full access to people who don't respect your power. Let them call you cold. Let them say you've changed. You didn't come here to be liked. You came here to become unforgettable. That requires energy. Protect it at all costs. And it's not just people. It's what you consume too. What you watch, read, scroll, and listen to becomes the fuel you burn, or the poison you drink. You can't binge chaos all morning and then expect clarity by noon. You can't fill your mind with negativity and then wonder why your decisions lack precision. Your energy is a reflection of what you allow in. If you're always tired, anxious, and distracted, start by looking at what you're feeding your spirit. Audit your environment like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your home, your workspace, your digital world, everything around you is either supporting your energy or stealing it. You don't rise in toxic soil. So clean it, curate it, protect it like the crown on your head. Now here's what most people don't get: focus is the highest form of energy. It's rare, it's sacred, and it's under attack 24/7. The world is not built to help you focus. It's built to steal your attention. Every ad app, every ping and buzz, an alert is designed to break your rhythm. And every time your focus breaks, your momentum resets. You think it's harmless to check your phone for a second. Second can cost you 23 minutes of lost focus. Multiply that by 10 times a day, and you've lost nearly 4 hours. Not because you didn't have time, but because your energy was being fractured. So when I say protect your energy, I mean protect your focus with everything you have. Put your phone on airplane mode. Turn off the noise. Build hours where no one can reach you. Because distraction is the death of legacy. You want to do something extraordinary with your life. Start by being unavailable to ordinary noise. Every time you say yes to distraction, you say no to your future. So schedule your deep work like it's a sacred ceremony. Block the time. Protect the space. Let your energy flow into what builds you, not what breaks you. Your 24 hours are not about clocking in. They're about tuning in to what matters, to who you're becoming, to the mission that makes your heartbeat race. Because the truth is, when your energy is aligned, focused, and protected, time stretches. Minutes feel longer, hours become more powerful, and your day becomes a weapon. You don't just survive it, you use it with intention, with dominance, with purpose. Most people are exhausted, not because they're doing too much, but because they're saying yes to too much of the wrong things. You are not overwhelmed because of your responsibilities. You're overwhelmed because of your inability to say no. Every time you agree to something that doesn't align with your purpose, your time dies a little, your clarity fades, your peace bleeds out, and your goals, They get buried under obligations that were never meant to be yours in the first place. You think saying yes makes you kind. You think it makes you reliable, dependable, a good friend, a good team player. But what it really makes you is unavailable to yourself, to your priorities, to the life you say you want but never seem to move closer to. Because you've built your calendar around guilt instead of greatness. You are not here to be everyone's emergency contact. You are not here to be one call for people who wouldn't show up for you in return. If you want to manage your time like a warrior, you need to stop treating your yes like a charity. Your yes is a contract. Your yes is a currency. Every time you say it, you are paying with your time, your energy, your presence. And if you're not getting a return on that investment, if it's not expanding you, developing you, fulfilling you, then it's not generosity, it's self-abandonment. And self-abandonment is the fastest way to destroy your momentum. Because you can't build your dream life while being a full-time caretaker of other people's expectations. You can either be respected for your boundaries or liked for your compliance, but not both. There's a difference between being helpful and being used. There's a difference between being a leader and being a people pleaser. And if you don't draw that line with intention, people will walk all over your time without even realizing it. Some of them will do it accidentally. Others will do it because you've trained them to. You've trained them to expect access, to expect your yes, to expect you to carry weight that was never yours. And now you're angry, not at them, but at yourself for letting it continue. That's the moment where everything can change. That's the moment you reclaim your time with a simple, powerful tool, the unapologetic no. Not the passive no. Not the hesitant no. The clear, direct, grounded no that doesn't need explanation or apology. Just truth. Start saying no to anything that steals your peace, your focus, your sleep, your confidence. Say no to the calls that drain you. Say no to the events that don't serve you. Say no to opportunities that might look good on paper but don't align with your soul. Because every yes to something meaningless is a no to something life-changing. And your mission, your calling, your legacy deserves more than leftover hours. It deserves priority. It deserves protection. People will question you. They'll call you distant. They'll say you've changed. And you'll look them in the eye and say, yes, I have. Because growth is change. Growth is distance. Growth is the decision to stop shrinking just to fit into places you've outgrown. You're not rude. You're just finally awake. Look at the people you admire. The ones who seem unshakable, focused, disciplined. You think they're lucky. No. They've mastered the art of saying no. That's how they create space for brilliance. Space to think, to build, to grow. Their lives are not full of noise. They are full of clarity. And that clarity wasn't given to them. It was earned through boundaries. It was earned through rejection. It was earned by refusing to waste time on anything that didn't contribute to the mission. And you have the same choice in front of you. You can continue letting everyone else write your schedule. Or you can take the pen back and write it yourself. With conviction. With power. With the kind of self-respect that says, I know what I'm here to do. And I won't apologize for protecting the time to do it. Let's get this straight. Your time is not public property. It is not a community resource. It is not something to be accessed, edited, or borrowed without permission. Your time is a finite, sacred, one-time only gift. And how you use it reflects how much you believe in your own worth. You teach people how to treat your time by how you protect it. And if you keep giving out yeses like candy, or don't act surprised when no one takes your boundaries seriously, you have to show up for your time like your life depends on it. Because it does. You cannot build an extraordinary life with a schedule full of average commitments. You have to be ruthless with your yes, unshakable with your no. Because greatness is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most and cutting out everything that doesn't. This isn't about being busy. It's about being intentional. People love to say they're grinding, hustling, working all day. But are they actually building anything? There's a difference between movement and progress, between action and direction. You can spend 12 hours a day in motion and end up exactly where you started. Time doesn't reward motion. It rewards intention. Every hour you live is either an asset or a liability. It's either compounding your future or costing your peace. Most people have no idea where their hours go. They think they're productive because they're tired. But exhaustion isn't always a sign of achievement. Sometimes it's just a sign of disorganization. If you want to own your 24 hours, then you have to hold every hour accountable. Every single one of them must earn its worth. Start tracking your time like your life depends on it. Because it does. Sit down for 1 week and audit every hour. Not just the working hours. All of them. How much time are you spending on your phone? On meaningless conversations? On social media rabbit holes? On mental loops that serve nothing but your anxiety? Be honest with yourself. Most people waste 2 to 4 hours every single day without realizing it. That's over 400 hours a year. That's 58 full days. Do you understand the power in that number? You could write a book, start a business, learn a new language, transform your body, change your mindset, reinvent your life. But instead, you're giving those hours to the algorithm, to distractions, to other people's noise. And if you don't start reclaiming that time, it will slip through your fingers for the rest of your life. You have to develop a new standard for your time. Every hour must pass a testing. Is this building me or just busy work? Because busy work is the most dangerous form of stagnation. It feels productive, but it keeps you stuck. You check tasks off a list, but nothing truly moves forward. You answer emails, return calls, clean the desk. Scroll your way through what feels like momentum, but it's not. It's delay in disguise. And that kind of time wasting is deadly because it tricks your brain into thinking you're doing enough. But you're not here to feel kind of accomplished. You're here to be relentless about what matters. The only tasks that deserve your energy are the ones that align with your mission. Everything else is noise. Ruthlessly cut the noise. Replace it with focus. Because every hour is either adding to your purpose or subtracting from it. It's time to train your mind to value depth over duration. It's not about how long you work. It's about how deeply you work. There's a level of intensity, of presence, of commitment that can make one focused hour more powerful than 10 distracted ones. But most people don't know how to get there because they never enter flow. They're always half in, half out, working with one tab open, scrolling with the other. half listening to calls, half watching the clock. That split energy is killing your productivity and your passion. If you want to unlock the next level of your life, you need to go all in on your hours. Show up like it matters, because it does. Turn your phone off, close the tabs, create an environment that demands your attention. Because focused work is a superpower, and it only activates when you decide to stop playing small. You must treat your time like a CEO treats a multi-million-dollar budget. Magic. You wouldn't just give money to anything that asked for it. You wouldn't just throw it into the void and hope something great happens. So why do you do that with your hours? Why do you let other people, random apps, guilt, boredom, and old habits spend your time for you? You are the one who decides where it goes. You are the one who gives it power. And you are the one who will live with the result. You've got to take control of your time like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose a job and find a better one. But once you lose time, it's gone. And every wasted hour today is a future you never meet tomorrow. Let that sink in. This is your moment to demand more from your time and more from yourself. You don't need 24 perfect hours. You need 1 hour that's executed with so much clarity, so much intensity, so much discipline that it starts a chain reaction in your life. 1 powerful hour can change everything. If it's focused, if it's aligned, if it's non-negotiable. You must create a schedule that reflects your values and a mindset that defends your time like a fortress. Don't just let the day happen to you. Design it, direct it, dominate it, because every single hour is an opportunity. And opportunities don't wait. They either get used or they disappear. You have 24 hours today. Just like the greats, just like the legends, just like the people you admire, the only question is, what will you do with them? There is one final truth that separates those who rise from those who remain stuck. They stop negotiating with time. They don't beg it. They don't resent it. They master it. Because they know this life isn't a dress rehearsal. There are no do-overs, no bonus rounds. Every single day is a decision. Every single hour is a test. You are either choosing to evolve or choosing to delay. There is no neutral zone. And people who create extraordinary lives have burned that idea into their soul. They don't wait for motivation to knock. They build systems. They build routines. They build discipline so strong that excuses feel like insults to their identity. They don't manage their 24 hours to get through the day. They manage them to dominate the day. If you want to be one of those people, one of the few who rise above the noise, you must stop living like time is infinite. Start living like it's oxygen. Because that's what it is. Every minute that passes is one you'll never see again. And when you realize that, really feel that, you start treating your time like treasure, not something you casually spend, something you fiercely protect. You begin to ask yourself real questions. What am I doing with my mornings, with my weekends? With those late night hours I say, I'm too tired to use, but somehow spend scrolling. Who am I giving my time to that isn't giving life back to me? And what would happen if I redirected even a fraction of that time building the version of me I keep saying I want to be. This is not about being busy 2 for 47. This is about being conscious, being awake. Most people sleepwalk through their time. They go to jobs they hate, spend weekends escaping, and drown in habits that numb them instead of elevate them. They use distractions to survive the hours instead of designing the hours to support their purpose. That is not a life. That is a slow death in disguise. And if you feel that truth hitting you in the gut right now, good. Let it burn. Let it shake something loose inside you. Because the moment you become conscious of your time is the moment you take your power back. You stop being a passenger and become the driver. You stop being reactive and start becoming intentional. That's where freedom begins. And don't think for a second that it's too late. I don't care if you've wasted the last year, the last 5 years, the last decade. If you're breathing, you have time left. The question is what are you going to do with it now? Stop mourning the minutes you've lost and start multiplying the ones in front of you. You can shift everything in 6 months with radical focus. You can rebuild your habits. You can restructure your day. You can eliminate the people, the patterns, the procrastination that have kept you locked in cycles of stuck. But you have to decide. You have to reach the point where your desire for change is greater than your fear of discomfort. And when that decision is real, your time starts to serve you. It bends. It sharpens. It works for you. If you want to break out of average, you have to treat time like it's sacred. Plan your day the night before. Track your hours with ruthless honesty. Build non-negotiable habits that happen whether you feel like it or not. Wake up with clarity, not chaos. Spend your evenings in growth, not gossip. Reserve time for silence, for vision, for building. Because the people who manage their time with wisdom are the ones who move through life with purpose. They're not rushing. They're not panicking. They're moving with alignment. When they rest deeply. When they work fully. When they show up with presence. That is not accidental. That is the result of a person who has made time their partner, not their prison. Every hour you own becomes a brick in the empire you're building. Every day you discipline yourself to act in alignment becomes fuel for your next level. Every night you reflect and reset becomes an anchor that keeps you on course. That's how great lives are built. Not by chance, not by luck, but by deliberate design. You don't need to chase time. You need to learn how to command it, to hold it in your hands and mold it into something that moves your mission forward. That power, it's not reserved for the elite. It's not a gift only a few possess. It's available to you, right here, right now. But you have to stop treating your time like it's a burden and start treating it like it's your greatest weapon. So now what? Now you decide. You either go back to the same routine, the same distractions, the same cycle that's stolen years from your life, or you wake up, you rise, you cut the excuses, you break the patterns, you claim the hours that belong to you. Because this isn't just about time management. This is about life ownership. And from this moment forward, every hour, every minute, every second must have a purpose, must have a name, must lead you to your highest self, No more delay. No more surrender. You don't find time, you create it. And now, it's yours.